Many farmers are having to re-evaluate the way they farm in light of new climate change and environmental regulations, as well as shifts in consumer behaviour. Forestry, both native and exotic, provides income diversification opportunity and a means to boost environmental performance at an individual farm, catchment and national level. Farmers need to make sensible decisions around forestry, with this being not about a choice between farming or forestry, but rather about how to integrate forestry with farming. Up-to-date and easily accessed information on different forestry options tailored to their circumstances is what farmers are looking for. The Te Uru Rako 1 Billion Trees Collaborative project includes demonstrating the integration of forestry to support individual landowners meet their land management objectives. Rotorua agricultural consultants Perenag have recently completed 10 case studies analysing different scenarios. For example, on a Rangatike hill country property, let's look at how a variety of tree planting options could be integrated with a sheep and beef farming operation. John Gordon farms 360 hectares at Mataroa near Taihape. Called Pa-iti, its landscape is fairly typical of the district.
I was born and bred here, so I suppose it does become, home's home. I guess I spent 10 years away in another industry, and it's been cool to come back. It does feel, I guess, when you've been brought up on a piece of land and, you do have that attachment to it, whether it's an emotional thing or a spiritual thing or whatever it may be. It is, where your roots are set down, I suppose. Some of what's been planted is going to hit and it is hitting its use-by date. So, that we will have to start turning over. And Mother Nature's already done some of that for us, whether they've toppled out or whatever. And guess going forward, we'll probably look at, key pieces that maybe need protection or stuff that we'll pull out and retire and put into alternative species, as a timber or timber/carbon. So yeah, but it is site-specific sort of stuff. It's not really a blanket one-size-fits-all, which is, totally is the key for this sort of country.
John's father, a keen arborist as well as a farmer, was responsible for the profusion of growth in a sheltered corner close to the farmhouse that includes a spectacular redwood grove. Lower down there's been considerable planting of native vegetation. In addition to helping keep stock clear of the waterway, the growth here improves biodiversity as well as sheltering lambing ewes. But it's the high-risk upper levels of the farm that are the big concern here. In a district famous for its unstable steep slopes and heavy clay soils, many local farmers planted poplars to help stabilise the land. Here at Pa-iti, radiata pine was also planted, with mixed results.
When we started planting as a 20-year-old, I guess you go to what everyone was doing, and it was tended to be radiata because, it was a good thing to learn on. Your silviculture, we did all the planting, silviculture, thinning. So, it was good to cut your teeth on, I suppose. But I guess as you see sort of more of what's happening in the industry, you start looking at, what might be a better fit. And we've had some mistakes on there. I'll be the first to admit that on these heavy soils, we had a snow event. We had about 6 inches of snow when they were 3-year-olds. Well, it toppled probably 80% of them. And then, so my brother and I went through and we staked them and straightened them up. Then about a year later, we had a big wind event. So we had about 50% of them were the same thing. We had to go back through the block. So they're not really that well suited, for these soils.
While in the past, poplars have been a successful choice on the upper slopes, many are now well past maturity, and some are beginning to give up the ghost. John Gordon's land management plan provides him with 3 options to support his goal of continued farm profitability while improving environmental resilience. In each case, it gets back to the mantra: right tree, right place, right purpose. John still has faith in the poplar species, especially the Lombardy strain.
Lombardy from the 50s is still, in my opinion, the best that we have yet that's mature. There are better ones out now,
Yeah.
or supposedly better, but we'll wait and see. And I think I have seen some of those that are relatively 20 years of age, and they do look good. We've got to be using the latest stuff because, you know, we've moved on. You know, those trees from the 50s are now been surpassed. They're generations old, and, you know, there's better stuff out there. For farmers that want to have trees on farms, I mean, you know, whether if you're getting $20 or $40 more a tonne at the port, you know, for one species over another, then your harvest cost is still the same,
Yeah.
whether it's radiata, cypress, redwood, doesn't matter, you know, that costs a given, and your cartage is still the same. But if you've got an end product that has a higher value, then you're going to be better off. And that's probably where I think for smaller growers we probably need to be looking.
The 1 Billion Tree Programme presents an outstanding opportunity to make a positive contribution to the country's climate change obligations. And the completion of an integrated land management plan is an ideal starting point to really understanding your property. It provides a detailed blueprint that will assist in maintaining a resilient business operation as well as creating a thriving ecosystem that will last into the future. Return to the start of this website to read the complete integrated land management plan prepared for the Gordon farm.